Hi guys, this is Arif from TechShare. Today I am going to show you guys how can you quite easily integrate the Sitecore Send to your solution. So let me tell you how to do that quite easily. So today I'm not going to explain a lot more details. I'm planning to create a couple of videos, but today journey would be really easy. So I already have a Sitecore XM Cloud project set up in my computer, which is here. So I'll show you here how to basically sort of integrate the Sitecore Send here, so that you can basically utilize your Sitecore Send here in your XM Cloud rendering host. All right. So yeah, let me very quickly do things like what you need to do first when you jump into the Send platform. After logging in, you need to go more and then website. Now here you need, so you already have, you see here I already have created a couple of website here. Let me delete some of these from here. So now I already have a website running, which is this one. Sorry, here. So this website I'm going to integrate with Sitecore Send. So now here I copy the domain, and then here add website. I'll paste this domain here, then submit. Then what will happen? Sitecore Send basically will give me very important information, which is my website ID. So I'll copy this website ID and I'll create a new notepad here, and then I'm going to paste it here. So this is my website ID. The next thing we need to do is, if you see here, it is telling me that, hey, can I go and create my configure tracking script? Yes, I need to do this because this is very important. Now this install connection script, there are a lot of ways you can basically install the integration related tools. Sitecore Send already have provided a lot of different integration points. So for example, if you have a Magento kind of website, then how we are going to do that? If you have a WooCommerce, so a lot of different things you can see here. But for us, what we are going to install is the custom installation, because that is more sort of very generic kind of thing. So you can basically integrate this website, Sitecore Send to any your kind of website that you are having, so you don't need to worry about much. So this one I'm going to copy this one very quick here as well. So first of all, I had my website ID, then I have this one. Now see here, this website ID, this script already has pasted here, this website ID. So basically this is ready to use. So what we just need is, we need this script to be added in our website in a way that whenever your website loads, your script will be loaded, this script, and that will basically push some sort of object to your DOM, so that you can basically some sort of object in the Windows, if in Windows object, the root level object that you have in JavaScript, and then you can utilize different sort of method to track it. So for example, if you go here, then you can see identify visitor. So if you want to identify, then you just need to use this move track identify, and this move track is basically window.move track. So this function is already injected in your Windows object. So I'm going to copy this one as well, because that would be really handy going forward. So I'm copying this one here. Then there is a paste track event. So sometimes it is also important, you can have a generic function which is basically fire based on your route changes, and accordingly you can push the page sort of information through the route, or you can have your custom, entirely your own function in each of those different page level component that you have, and you can pass this sort of move track with that page readable name that you have. And then you have all those different things, like how you're going to track add to cart event and things like that. So there are some syntax you need to follow, and that way what will happen is you will basically get that Sitecore Send support in terms of all those different reporting and things like that. I guess that's all. We don't need to test that, sort of thing. The other thing which is very important is this track custom event. This is very important because it is not only page event but also some custom event that you might want to register to Sitecore Send. And based on this custom event, what you can later do is to raise your automation script. So for example, in the automation, you might have a certain automation which will only fire when there are some certain track event coming in your system. In your system means in the Sitecore Send site from your basically website. An example would be you might want to send a notification mail to certain user based on some event, and I guess that would be really handy if you have a custom tracking event. So whenever your user click or do certain steps or certain things in your website, internally you might want to send this sort of custom event, and once that event fire or comes in to Sitecore Send, a automation script will be fired or raised based on that particular event. And you can basically use all those different built-in recipe that we have in Sitecore Send. I'll show you that, but probably not this video but next video. And you can execute that thing basically, and you can do certain operation, certain process, certain action basically. All right, so we have already copy pasted all those different things which is already here. Now we are going to include those in our project. So this project which is already running, I show you before. So this project is basically here you can see this is all running here. So it's basically nothing. It's a static website with some static. It's not static. I mean, they are all dynamic in terms of you can basically change all those data component, everything from Sitecore. So in that way it is dynamic. But yeah, I mean, this data is basically sort of a static data, means I am not really using it anywhere. It's just that data, sort of test data. Now what I need to do next is I need to open this project, and here sorry, yeah, I guess this project. So now the next thing you need to do is you need to go to your so you can use the layout tsx file, or you can use your app.tsx file. So for example, if I go here in my app.tsx, so here what we can do is you can see here there is already a style attached here. So what we can do is we can basically as a sort of very quick step, what we can do in that public folder here, we can have our own sort of script here. So for example, let me very quickly create a folder called script, and then underneath that, so for example, if I go here and new folder called JS, so here I am going to add all my JSs. And now here what I need to do is I already have a script, right? So we can say musend.js. So this is our script file. What I'm going to do is I already have copy pasted those data here, right? So I am going to use this one here. All right, so now the thing we need to consider is I guess which is this script we don't need obviously because this is already a JS file. So let me, so here we have something, and we already have the CDN automatically we get through that Sitecore Send with my very important is that website ID, which is very important, which is there, that one. So this is initializing kind of thing. So now the next thing is we just need that thingy to my we need to add that on. That's the thing. So what we can do is we can go my app.txt here and then here what we can do is we can basically under this return, just create a head. This next head, basically next head means it would basically add anything that you are adding here in your head tag of your website. So now here what I am going to do is I am going to use simple link rel. Would be I guess sorry, I don't need to link rel, I just need to use script. Yes, so in the script we can use the source, and in the source let me use that little bit dynamic. So what we can do is we can say here let me use the public URL. So this is the one. So public URL will get the public URL means the public path of your website dynamically, and underneath that I have the JS directory that I have created, and then here we just need to use movesend.js. So now what happens is my script is already added and it is already added in my head section. So in order to test this thing real quick, what we can do is we can say, hey, let me open this application in my local 3000 port, localhost 3000, and let me see, we are actually calling, and this site that we'll have already loads this movesend.js or not. If it loads, then we are in a good situation. So let me go and just hit localhost 3000. A little bit slow, I don't know why. Yeah, so localhost 3000. All right, I guess the next thing we're going to do now is once it is there, sorry, it is still loading. Yeah, now it is ready. Yep. So man, come on. Local, sorry, 3001. Nah, let me restart this one. Yeah, my other application was also running, that is the reason. So let me just quickly run one more time. I think this time it will use 3000 port. And I guess the next thing is if we have this integration successfully done, then we can deploy our changes to our real domain that we have, and that domain already we have registered that domain to Sitecore Send. So that way what will happen is Sitecore Send can recognize that okay, this system is verified basically. What does that mean? I'll show you later, but let me quickly see if actually our integration works or not. So the next thing we'll do is we'll okay, so let me go to the network tab, and here in the JS let me see movesend. Yeah, I can see here movesend is already there, and our website ID is very importantly, our website ID is there, so it is also coming fine. Now the next test we can do is we can send some data to movesend, and then we'll see how that actually the data and the tracking can be useful once you send the data to movesend. For that reason, what we can do, we can create a very basic component. Then what it will do is I will create a component, and first say let me create a component, or we can reuse a component, but let me see what we have here. Yeah, so we already have on feature promo. Yeah, let's use this feature promo. I think that should be that should, or maybe let's use this hero. Hero is basically, we know that the hero is already there. This very big one is the hero component here. So we have two button right here. So what we'll do is underneath that button, underneath that button, we are going to add on. So there is a button group, and then this is the button basically, and then underneath the button here, so I'm not going to use any design here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a very basic input. So let's say this is type of email, and placeholder, say enter your email for registration. Okay, now here I'm going to use a button. The button say register, or say sign up for newsletter. So let me see whether that is coming here or not. I can see here it is coming, but it doesn't look good. So let me quickly add a class here, left margin 3, left margin left, margin left 3. Let's use this one. And then what else? Button, class is already there. Let me add some button class, which is basically there is a button, and let's just use this class. That will make some sense. Okay, it doesn't look really good, but at least you can see here. So there is a button, and there is a mail. You can add here mail, and then you can say sign up for newsletter. Why not I use this a button? That would be easier for me. And then I can use this title. And then class name. Class, I don't think I need okay, this is okay, let's do quickly. So let's just use this let me return back to button. So our purpose here is we are not going to show this one every time. So what we are going to do is we'll say if already is already registered, if not already registered, if not already registered, then only we are going to display that, right? Otherwise we are going to show them nothing. So now what is this is already registered? So let me quickly create that that state. So we'll say, hey, there is another state I have here. So already registered is false, right, initially. So you can see this this thing will come. Now we'll have some function here, we'll add that on later. Then we'll see this will not be visible. So in that button, let me also create an event here. So in that button, we'll say let's say we'll say sign up. So let me create this function straight away here. Right. So here I'll say is already registered as true. Let me just quickly verify whether it works or not. So now what we have here in the UI, and then we'll add something. So I can say something here, I can click it, and then you can see he's already registered. Now what I'll more do here is this will not be like that only. So in that button event, what I'll do, I will send some data to Sitecore Send. At the same time, what I'll do is I'll get that email address that we have here. So what we'll do is we'll add another. So we'll have my email address. Right now here this on sends, so there is a on sends event where we're going to use this set email address is going to be so this is your element, it is going to be e.target.value. That's all. So I'm going to put straight away my email address to this state, and then here this email address already will be getting this email address here, console.log email. So let's just quickly check whether we are getting this one or not, and then we'll just simply do another step to send the data. Should be really easy, by the way. So let me do at mail.com, and then let me clear the console now. Then here I'm going to set this button, and then you can see here this is coming fine after pressing this button. So now what we are going to do is we are going to send this data to Sitecore Send, and then Sitecore Send basically this is very easy. So what we can do is we can simply go and we can say, hey, let's do use the window.moveTrack. So what is that is let me quickly copy paste something from my other window here. So what we are going to do now is we'll say, hey, so let me use a global type. So for example, and that above here, yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a global basically type so that my thingy, my TypeScript really doesn't complain about this one. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, windows.moveTrack. So I'm going to actually send some tracking event, but before that we also need to so when we are putting the email address and I'm saying sign up, then we can identify we can identify that that user as a user for that particular session. We can say that this is basically the user who is using. um, Ideally we will only use identify when there is a login screen and user will be able to log in successfully, and then you can say, hey, I identified this user. And that way your session, so there is a internal session key that Sitecore Send script will create, and it will attach that data, like, okay, this is the identified user. So it can basically then send the data, and accordingly it can merge all the related data afterward that you are going to send. All right, so now let me quickly so here we can say identify window dot move track. We can say, so there is a parameter we can pass called identify, and then this email address. So please identify this email address, and then we can also say, hey, once you identify this one, then why not you send a tracking event. Since this is a sign up, so let me do one thing real quick is let me use effect, and also let me send one window move send sorry, move track. We can say this is my page event. So, and for page event I already have copy pasted here. So move track, we can basically any sort of event you can say. So so this is the identifying sort of way, and this is the page view, so any kind of event. So here you can say hero loaded event. So here I have one, I can have another one basically with single parameter, something like this. So if you only want to use this one, then you can use this one. Anyway, now we have added these two, and then the next thing we are going to add a custom event, and custom event is very important. So here we can say, hey, once this is identified, then let me say that we can say sign up completed. And then this is very important because now we need to use all those different data. So here we can say my email address is email address here. So this is email address. Sorry. Okay, so and then you have all those dynamic data here. You can even use this this way. Makes sense completely. Now here this is email address, and then if you have a customer ID, reference number, I mean any kind of data that you have, so you are also going to send this one too. And then all done. And then ideally what you can do is you can save this data to your local storage or somewhere, and that way what will happen is there would be on checking here in the very first time when it tries to load this use effect, and it will say, it will try to look if that data is already stored in your local storage, then please don't open this box, this registration box one more time. So yeah, I guess that's all. So if I now go here and all right, so let me, this move track, this will not work because this is not supported in our script, so let's just remove this one for now. We don't need this one. Anyway, I don't know what is the error, but here we can basically say sign up, and then it says you need to initialize track before it can be used. This is not an error, this is a warning. But most importantly, if I hold on, if I see the network tab here, then you'd see there should be on call going, but let me refresh one more time, since we are not using that local stress. So every time you refresh, you can see the box coming, which is that. So I'll say mail.com, and the network tab, if I say sign up, then you can see their identify track. So identify says that yeah, it is sending this this payload, which is basically my contact ID. So this is basically created automatically by Send. Action tab identify it, so it has all those data. Session ID, which is very important, and site ID. So it send the data to Send, saying, hey, this guy is already having this data as identified data. So next time if the guy produce any data, then just map it all together so that the reporting can look the right, and also all that data can be then understandable. So now here you can see the payload of this track, which is basically my custom sign up completed event with some data. Now what we can do here is here we need basically these changes to be published in our Vercel, so that at least we know. So this SS component is missing because we just all right, so this is a different one, sorry. So let me push the changes to Vercel, and that way we should be able to test it. We should be able to test it in our yeah. So let me open this project from the root folder where my repository is initialized. So my repository should be initialized here. Yep. Now here I can see on second scanning for the Git repo, should definitely appear all the changes here. It is coming surely. Yep. Now I can see all my 9 changes here, and part of these changes I have this sort of say moosend.js file inside the public, and then what is my JSON file, not sure, Docker file, but yeah, I'm not worried about all those different things. So what I need to do is I only created this moosend, so I'm going to stage this one, and then I'm going to use this hero stage this one as well, and then I also going to add this app.tsx, and then let me add this one as well, because otherwise I can always see there are some component missing. This Docker file, Docker file. I don't need to. Let me all. Okay. Added support of send. But before that, what we need to do, we need to check if there are any build error or not. Otherwise, there will be problem. So we can say this as build. So let me check if there is any error in my script, build script. Otherwise, what will happen is our system, sorry, the parcel, when it will try to build it, it will fail, because if there are any warnings or anything, the build will not be passed. So let's just quickly see if that actually works. All right, fix build issue, commit it. Yep, see here, they are all the static contents are getting generated through from Sitecore. So it calling the Sitecore layout service response endpoint, layout services endpoint, get the response and generating the static pages. All right, let me push that one straight away, and then once the push is done, then we'll verify. All right, so now the push is done. So let's go quickly to Vercel. This is my Vercel, and then we'll say in the deployments, we'll definitely see that there are some deployment already building here. You can see now already. I can see here site is running here. Now if I open this one through the visit, sorry, not this one, we're going to use this one. Then I can see here this text box is coming fine. But before that, let me check whether the move send loads successfully or not. Our script that we have created, yep, I can see the move send is running fine, which basically means if I now send my data here, it should yep, identify, first of all, track and identify successfully. Yep, looks good. Let me just refresh one more time. Let me use another data here, test 2. Yep, so this track we are basically adding our own sign up completed event, and identifies where I am identifying, and accordingly now this contact will be assigned to this, and all that data will eventually will go. Now let me open the move send and see if our first of all, let me go to the website. So it says that our website should be verified. Yep, I can see here this verification is done, because when the communication happens from this domain to MoveSend, then MoveSend identifies successfully that okay, this is the right sort of way to integrate. So that's why it's verified. Once the verification is done, I guess the next thing we can check whether we are getting our custom event or not. And there are a lot of there are some difficulties obviously to test that one, because you don't have much data. Again, if you see here audience, obviously not audience, but ideally you will not be able to see a lot of things, but here you can see in our Exxon Cloud Foundation head 10, and there are on active subscriber. So if I now go here, then you would see that email address, which is this one. I also pushed the test one. I'm sure that will come later, but yeah, so this is how the data is going through, following through here, and also in the automation now you can create some custom automation as well. So for example, if you say, hey, let me create a new custom automation, for example, and then here select your trigger. From this list you can basically find a when a specific tag is added, when specific, no, this is not a specific tag, but when a custom event is recorded. So you can take this one. So when a custom event is recorded, we are going to fire trigger basically something. So now here every time some trigger this event. So every time if there are some data pushing, then we will fire this one, and we are going to only use this website. And here, interestingly, event name, we need to check whether our custom event is coming here. Yes, this is the sign up completed 3 times. This is very important. Then we can say save, and then what will happen, what's next when this, every time you say sign up completed, obviously ideally you will not be able to send 2 times the same email, right? And you have to protect that one. But the next thing you could do is you can add a action. Action would be, for example, sending an email, send an email campaign. And this send an email campaign, you can basically say, hey, thanks for sign up, thanks for the sign up from your, obviously your from your organization, basically the admin. And then here why this, there should be loaded. I think sometimes there is a problem, this restrict data is not getting loaded. Just wait. But anyway, I mean, you can go to the editor, and then you can create your own template here, and that template will be going through. So here in the template library, say full width, and then in the items you can basically put an image here and put some text here, and then maybe some button here, maybe some HTML here, I don't know. Then you will be able to see that on coming here in that automation. And then here so here oh, the list text now are loading. See, that's the problem. So I'm not going to use combinator. I am going to use a very easy, easy one or basic one. Hi there. So you can use that this is called personalized tag, and that way you can basically use some personalized tag means hi there. You can use recipient name. So if there are name coming, then you can get the name here. Thanks for the sign up, thanks for our newsletter, something like that. I mean, you don't need to be like, you can think later on, and you can do a lot of different things later. You can save that one, and then finally you need to say yeah, you don't need anything now, basically that's all. Now this one is saved, you can say this is active, and we'll obviously test right now. So now you can see here we have on new automation. Okay, let me just name this one as something called sign up new user, send mail for the send mail, sign up, send mail. So this one is already active, so I can now go exit, and I can check that sign up, this is already active. Now let's test this one. So let's just refresh this one, and let me use my personal email address, which is this one, and identify track, and I am expecting this one will be triggered here. This automation is currently running. So this one, when this one will be recorded, then but before, let's just use a new incognito, because sometimes, since I already have registered my, yeah, let's use here. All right, now let's use my email address and see if I have that particular email coming or not, because ideally it should come.